Oh, hello. So let us look at the first exams and their solution. So here, what is the negation of the statement? Now, I like to highlight the word negation here. Whenever you use the word negation, it implies word not. Now, when you look into this question, I am not going to eat ice cream. So the word not is already there. That means negation of this one will be simply taking away the word not. So our answer will be I am going to eat ice cream, which is choice 2. That becomes our answer. Alright, now let us look at number 2 here. The statement x is a multiple of 3 and. So here I like to underline the word and. Whenever you use the word and, that means both of them has to be true. This one has to be true and this one has to be true. Then when you look into this one, alright, x is multiple of 3. So then which one of these are multiples of 3? Then we are looking at 9, 12, and 6. But the second part, it says x is an odd integer. So which one of these 3 are odd integers? Not 12, not 6. Only choice 1 becomes our answer. Now let's look at number 3. The statement x is divisible by 5. Notice the word or here. The word or means as long as one of them is true, then it is okay. So, is there anything that's divisible by 5? Oh, wait a minute. That's the only number. And that seems to be the answer. Because none of them are divisible by 4 anyway. So, there it goes. Those are our first 3 questions. So let's look at number 4 together. The statement, if x is prime, then x is odd, is false. How can you have if then statement to be false? Then the first part has to be true, while the second part has to be false. Then we are looking for something that is prime, but that is not odd. Which one of them are prime? So that means we are looking at possibly this one and this one. Because 1 and 4 are not prime numbers. But something that's not odd, only thing that's not odd is choice 2. So therefore that becomes our answer. Number 5. The larger angle of the 2 supplementary angles has a measure 40 degrees more than the measure of the smaller angle. So if I want to write this one up, larger and then smaller. If the smaller is x, then larger is x plus 40. See, 40 more than the smaller one. Alright. Now, but the thing is, since they're supplementary, when we add them up, they have to be 180. So, our equation would have been x plus 40, the larger one, plus x has to be equal to 180 degrees. Now, then once as you calculate this one, 2x plus 40 would be equal to 180 here. So obviously 2x would have been equal to 140 and x will be equal to 70 as you divide each side by 2. Now then what is the measure of the smaller angle? Smaller angle is x, so 70 would have been acceptable. Choice 2 becomes our answer. Alright, let us move on to the next question, number 6. Write the negation of the statement. You see the word negation once again implies that we have to include the word not. So here, 2 is even numbers, then negation would have been 2 is not an even number. Alright, now, but the question is, what's the truth value? Is 2 not an even number? In fact, it is, so therefore, our truth value would have been, yes, it's false. Now, let's look at number 7. Given 2 is an odd integer, let's look at it. That's false, isn't it? 2 is not an odd integer. Or 3 is an even integer. Oh, that's also false too. Then determine the truth value of the this disjunction. You see, when you see the word or, at least one of them has to be true in order for the entire statement to be true. But here, since both of them are false, so our truth value would have been false. Since both parts of disjunction are false, the entire statement is false. Oops. All right, great. Let's look at number 8. The measure of the two supplementary angles are represented by 2x and then 3x minus 10. What is the value of x? So the word supplementary once again implies that sum becomes 180. So we're going to write up the equation as in 2x plus 3x minus 10 is equal to 180. Then as you can see, when you combine them together, we get 5x minus 10 equals 180. By adding 10, we get 5x must be equal to 190, and divide by 5, x should be equal to 38. And that becomes our answer. Let's look at number 9 here. The measure of an angle is represented by a, what is the measure of complement? You see the complement, that means add up to 90. Add up to 90. The fact that we have one angle is A, then what should be add on to A to get 90? The answer is 90 minus A. Simple as that. Let's construct the truth table here. In this case, I gave you the top row already, so this becomes rather simple. So first, I'm going to write down true, false, true, false. Oops, why don't I just do it this way? True, true, false, false. True, true, false, false. And then true, false, true, false. I mean, either way, it doesn't really matter, but this is a more conventional way of doing it, so I'm just going to follow that. Negation of Q, that means we have to get the opposite of these. So here we get false, true, false, true. Now, P implies not Q. That means we are looking going from here to here. So I don't have to look at the middle section. So here, true to false. So what do you end up getting? That's the only false that we're going to have. All the others are true. False to false is still false, and then false to true is true. False to false is true, yeah. So that becomes our answer. Alright, great. So let's move on to the next question here, number 11. So given statement is, if I live in Seacliff, then I am a New Yorker. Now, inverse means we need to switch, we need to negate it. So therefore, our writing will be, if I don't live in Seacliff, great town by the way, then I am not a New Yorker. Alright, see, notice that I put the word not, or don't, and not. Converse is switching the order. So what we have to do here is that if I'm a New Yorker, so here, if I am a New Yorker, I live in Seacliff. Alright, so notice that we switch the order. That's converse. Contrapositive is not only switching the order, but also we have to negate it. Putting inverse and converse together in one way. So the way that I can write it is, if I am not a New Yorker, I don't live in Seacliff. Notice that I switched the order and also put the negation together. So which condition which statement is conditionally logical? Which conditional statement is logically equivalent to the original statement? All right, that's always contrapositive. Contrapositive is the logically equivalent statement to the original one. All right, let's move on to the next one, number 12 here. Now notice that we want to do the construct, logical statement truth table here. Now we have P and Q. That's something that was given. Now what else do I need? I need not P and not Q. So in fact, what I'm going to do is this. I'm gonna make so here, not P, not Q. I guess that's what I need because that's a couple of elements there. So false, false, true, true. Opposite of these, which is what? False, true, false, true. Now, next one is, I did individually all done, so next one is this part of the statement. P implies not Q. So here, P implies not Q. That means I'm looking at this one and this one. So let's look at it. True to false is false. That's actually one thing which you have to be careful about. True to true is true. False to false is true. And false to true is true. So that's basically what we end up getting. Now, so then we took care of the parentheses. The next one is the entire thing here. So not P, or P implies not Q. That means I'm looking at not P, which is right over here, and the parentheses, which would have been right over here. Since the statement is or disjunction, as long as one of them is true, then we are okay. So false and false, that's the false. This, because of the second one is true, therefore it's true. Both of them are true, so we get true. Both of them are true, so we get true. So false, true, true, true. That's basically what we end up getting. Let's look at number 13 here. So we realize that both angles are vertical angles, therefore they have to be equal to each other. So that means the equation that I can set up would have been 9x plus 10 is equal to 2x plus 52. Alright, so then first I can subtract 2x from both sides and subtract 10 from each side. Then we end up getting 7x must be equal to 42. That makes x equals 6. So we found the first answer. X equals 6. What is AED? AED is this angle. That would be AED. So all we have to do is put 6 in place of x and add 10 to it. So second part, let me just use a different color. Measure of angle A, ED is 9x plus 10. So 9x, x would have been 6 plus 10. So then 9 times 6 becomes 54. So 64 becomes our answer, degrees. What is AEC? AEC is the supplementary angle to that one. So we get choice C. I'm just going to use a different color maybe. Choice C is supplementary to this one, so 180 minus 64, which would have been equal to 116 degrees. So that becomes our answer. Alright, so let's look at the last question together. The ratio of the measures of the two supplementary angles is 4 to 6. Soon as you see 4 and 6, what I need you to do is I want you to express that as 6x plus 4x. Since that's supplementary, as you can see over here, their sum has to be equal to 180. That means here when you add them up, 10x is equal to 180. Then x must be equal to 18. Now, but that's not quite the answer because we want to find out the measures of both angles. So then 4x is equal to 4 times 18. Then we end up getting, yes, 72 degrees. How about 6x is equal to 6 times 18? We get 108. And hence those are two of our angles. Alright, and we'll stop here and I'll see you later. Bye.